Cheers, Männer. Zum Wohle.
Yes.
The Walker Spur, 1,200 vertical meters, 56 pitches of pure granite through the north face of the Grandes Jorasses. In 1938, Italian legend Riccardo Cassin made the first ascent of this impressive line. As one of the three great north faces of the Alps, it is on the wish list of every ambitious alpinist. But the demands are extremely high, and only in perfect conditions is an ascent possible for aspiring alpinists like us.
So Männer, habt ihr Bock?
Voll geil.
Ja Mann!
Richtig Bock.
Never before has the tension and anticipation before a route been so great as when Timo, Franz and I took the train up Mont Anvers. In the run-up we talked with Franz, who had climbed the route the days before and heard of dry rock, but also horror stories of rockfall. Were we already too late this year? The dry winter and heat waves caused massive rock falls and impassable glaciers in many regions already this July 2022. We want to get a picture of the situation for ourselves and spend 3 days at the Le Chaux hut, and then, if we have a good feeling, start the climb with a stable weather window on Sunday. The approach is long and stretches over never-ending glaciers, while the north face of the Grandes Jorasses towers mightily above the valley. When we arrive at the hut, the party is being rescued from the wall by helicopter. Not a good omen. Nevertheless, the mood remains relaxed, and with a beer we plan an acclimatization route for the next day.
So Männer, was ist jetzt der Plan für heute?
Selfie, Selfie.
Cheers Männer!
Zum Wohle.
Yes.
We choose the Aiguille de Le Chaux, the most remote peak in the area. Our route, La Vol du Phoenix on the Tour Supérieure du Aiguille de Le Chaux, promises 11 long clean pitches in good granite with bolted belays. The approach goes well, but the terrain over gravel fields and scree-covered glaciers is very unpleasant to walk on. Timo begins leading, and it quickly turns out that the undertaking will be much more challenging than we expected. The rock is rather chossy, and we remove large blocks from the wall despite all caution. The protection without intermediate pitons turns out to be quite demanding, with only one set of cams. Both Timo and Franz have to deal with long runouts. I don't feel so good and don't lead a single pitch that day.
Orlando, was ist dein Fazit bisher?
Ja, wildere Sache als ich gedacht hätte, aber schon ganz cool. Jetzt gerade die oberen Längen, das taugt voll. Jetzt sind es noch 2 5B-Längen, ein Dreier und dann sind wir am Gipfel und dann wird die Abseilfahrt auch nochmal eine spannende Geschichte hier runter.
At the summit we have a long descent ahead of us. Our rope gets stuck twice on the rappels, and we only make it back to the hut by 6 in the evening. As it started snowing and raining during the night, the situation didn't look good. We take a break at the hut and analyze the situation. After several considerations, we decide to give it a shot. Together with an Italian and a French party, we start on Sunday at 1 AM towards the Grandes Jorasses. Like a seasoned alpinist, Franz leads us through the pitch-black night, through the wild glaciers and crevasses to the start of the route, which we reach after only 2.5 hours. The question of the first lead now arises, and after some hesitation, I volunteer to lead the first block. Today I feel good, and on the rock I am fully in my element. Still in the dark, we simul-climb the first 10 pitches of easier terrain. When the Frenchmen and the Italians climb into a dead end, I see our chance and we pass them. Before the first harder pitch, the Italians overtake us again, but take a wrong turn too far to the left, and once again we are in the lead and push on fast. After another 5A, where we get the first rays of sunlight, the crux follows. The Rebuffar crack is only graded 6A, but demands everything from us with heavy backpacks at altitude. We fight like in an 8A, but only Franz and I succeed in freeing the pitch.
Boah, Lando, du Tier.
Ja, war jetzt schon viel übler als gedacht. Hey. Gut, Franz.
Geil, danke fürs Vorsteigen. Ich wäre 10 Tode gestorben darauf. Leck mich fett.
We immediately continue onwards to lose no time. There follows a long traverse to the right in crumbly terrain to reach the imposing 75-meter dihedral. This one lives up to its name. Like in a picture book, it shoots up towards the sky. The rock is bomber and the pitons are very numerous, but the climbing is really hard. Even Franz and I step on 1 or 2 pitons in order to not lose any time. It goes well, and a short time later we reach a short rappel with several fixed ropes.
At die Abseilstelle, Franz, lass mich abi.
After that follow more 5C to 6A pitches in the grey slabs, and the route finding is clear until all of a sudden it is not. I take a wrong turn to the right and down climbing is no longer an option. Luckily we find a variation back to the route, and 1 pitch later we reach the grey tower. We make the first pause after 30 pitches. Frenchmen close up, and after a short chat we let them pass. We are still in good spirits to reach the summit tonight, and Franz takes over the lead.
Du, 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 du. 16 Uhr. Willkommen zu den Tagesthemen. Heute mit Timo Lang und Lando Peters.
Live sehen wir, wie Franz was legt und was wir für ein Placement wählen.
A pitch on the Grey Tower leads us to easier terrain on the ridge. The climbing there is fantastic and quick, but just before the triangular snowfield we lose a lot of time due to a stuck rope. Timo takes over the lead but does not feel particularly comfortable in the chossy red chimneys and rappels back down to us. It is now clear that we will not reach the summit today. Nevertheless, I take over the lead again and try to get us as high as possible. At the end of the red chimney it's game over. We endure a sitting bivvy on 1 square meter, we cook some tea and shiver through the night.
Morgen aus dem Biwak. Da geht's jetzt diese feine sonnige Platte hoch und dann weiter Richtung Gipfel, hoffentlich.
So schaut's aus, ja.
The next morning we continued at 7 AM in constant winds. I climbed the last 12 pitches which are becoming easier and more chossy until Timo, who already has his mountain boots on, is the first to dig through the summit cornice, and shortly afterwards all 3 of us are standing on the summit of the Grandes Jorasses. We can hardly believe it. 34 hours after we started at the Le Chauhat, a freezing night and seemingly never-ending pitches are now over. The Walker Spur was a dream come true for us. But we should not rejoice too soon. 2,700 meters of descent into the Valferré still lay ahead of us, on which 3 glaciers have to be crossed and many places have to be abseiled or downclimbed. The first rocky section resembles a gravel pit, and at the traverse under the first giant serac we feel a little nervous, but after that everything goes smooth. To our surprise, the crevasse bridges are still very thick and stable, and soon we are out of the danger zone. As beautiful as the descent into the Valferré is, it also drags on for a long time. My legs are already repelling violently, but we have to continue. We catch the last bus to Courmayeur by 5 minutes, hitchhike to Chamonix, and soon devour large portions at the parking lot. What a luck that everything turned out so well. Thanks Timo and Franz for this tremendous adventure that we will never forget.